halfway. We have built up our strength steadily by increasing our mileage every day and seeing more and more of what the John Muir Trail offers. Beautiful lakes and mountains. I have a cough that won't go away, and I'm not quite sure the origin of that as far as a concern for these next 10 days. But it hasn't been that bad that it would put me off as far as discouraging me from going on. I think that I'm going to get over it as soon as I go home, frankly. I've been exhausted every day. I get back into camp, and it's hard for me to really function, to set up my bed, and cook my meal, and make an intelligent conversation with Eric. But lots of other things. I'm disappointed in my health. I'm coughing a lot. I don't know what it's due to, but it's just got to be dealt with or accepted. It's caused by altitude or sort of allergy or whatever else is causing. But there foremost is that my health will impact my ability to finish the hike successfully.
And so I asked if something was wrong, and I heard Richard was saying that he needed to be evacuated because he's having a medical issue. And then I felt bad, but then I told him that we're 3 nurses and that we were willing to help if he wanted any help.
I was thinking of like different ways how he could be evacuated, like if we could take him by horse, or like what other, like Humvee, or like what other vehicles they would have.
Okay, well, this is happening right now. Let's kind of observe him and see how he's looking.
Came overhead. We were in the hot springs, and as soon as the helicopter came, I pointed it out, because that's like really big news when you're in the backcountry. You see a helicopter, it's probably an evac for a hiker.
Getting from Yosemite Valley to Tuolumne was probably the most emotional start of a hiking trip ever in my life. My daughter and her husband John, Shira and John, were there and walked up with us the first day to see the falls. And they were as low as the water level was. It was just beautiful. And then they left after that, and we walked on over the next 2 days to Tuolumne.
Well, we experienced the dome, half dome, and it was only 2 miles up there. But however, the last mile was almost 45-degree angles most of the time. So it was a challenge, but they've done a magnificent job of carving steps in the first hill that you go over.
we did well on that. And then you hit the saddle and you see what you're confronted with in the terms of the railing, and it was a challenge. You have to pull yourself up by the railing, and it's exciting, to say the least. And there's a lot of people on it, so that makes it even more interesting. And it took a while to get up, but when you get up, you're on top of the world. Emotionally, every level, it is an achievement. It's a view, and it's a part of your life now to just enjoy the nature of the world and just see 360 degrees around. Everything around is just gorgeous as far as natural beauty. So I was passing people on the way up, because when you've built up a lake full of emotional desire to climb this kind of a monument, you probably don't even know it, but your adrenaline is pumping really fast, and you're going to pass people. You're going to be doing things you never usually do. So it was probably unconscious, but I didn't want to stop on the way up there, and it was steep. So yeah, I was passing people, and I was relishing the whole moment. Not only the dome, but also the trail to it. It was very dramatic, and I enjoyed every step. As I was walking out to the overlook, which actually was a significant overlook, by the way, it really hung out, and the rock underneath was cracking in layers, and you say to yourself, is this really going to be safe? But it's been there for a long time, so I was tired. I felt when I got back to camp that, number one, I was exhausted, but number two, exhilarated and ready to sort of take it in more. It's an experience that in your mind, once you've done it, you keep going over the details of what was involved, and you can hold on to them the rest of your life, because it's such a dramatic climb. It is a gorgeous area. There's not just the views, but also just the sense of achievement that you did it, and you never thought you were going to do it, and that is satisfying in itself.
All of those things add up to this is life, and it's good. And it makes it a little sweeter when you are doing it and looking back and saying, we did it.
And it is worth the entire trip just to have this view, and then to climb it, and then to come back and see what we climbed.
And you have successfully done it. It's been a year in coming. So it's more than just the 3 days. It's way beyond that. It's the journey of a lifetime.
Well, hiking up the Clouds Rest, yes, also gave us views of Half Dome, which we had climbed the day before. Always saying that you couldn't beat the views from Half Dome. You really couldn't beat the experience of going up the railing and following the railing and pulling yourself up at a 45-degree angle on the Half Dome. But in truth, Clouds Rest had a better view of the entire Yosemite National Park than even Half Dome. was a complete clean view of every part in a 360-degree circle, and incredible canyons and rock everywhere, smooth rock, rough cut rock, crags, you name it. Huge walls in the Yosemite Valley. You could see them all. El Capitan, and many others. Clouds Rest was the most satisfying and complete view of Yosemite National Park. You didn't see everything, but it's all the important stuff. So we stayed on top of Clouds Rest, I think, for at least an hour or an hour and a half, and couldn't get enough. We could have bedded down and just camped up there, but they don't let you. Met a lot of guys and gals that were hiking, and they wanted us to take pictures. They like to talk. It's always fun to trade stories. So we spent a lot of time up there. And I think we agreed that Clouds Rest was the hit of the show, even exceeding Half Dome somewhat. So it was a real pleasure to be able to do both. Well, I did have a little episode of near fainting, I would say. I saw little speckles in my eyes and felt like I wanted to go to sleep, but I was okay. Eric quickly helped me get some food and some water. And what I learned from that episode was that you can't just go out in the woods and hike and not think about your nutrition as well as your conditioning. And as we have gone along, I have learned a lot and have really set in place the knowledge now that I need not only to drink water a lot in hiking and the strenuous exercise of hiking, but also getting a lot of food with salts or sugars, other minerals, all along the way, frequent snacks. And I like sugar, so what's wrong with that picture? I love it. I'll eat all the snacks anybody wants me to eat. So it's not a hurtful thing by any chance. It was a scary thing, at least initially. Everybody was calm, and I came right out of it, probably in a half an hour with rest. And we went right on up from there to the top of Clouds Rest. But it taught me a lesson, there's no doubt about it. It's a good lesson to learn, and it's good for the rest of life, not just for hiking. Into the valley and up through the valley to see a cathedral. Well, it just, I've seen pictures of them before, and you just can't believe you're right there. And you're getting closer to them than even ever the picture shows you, so you can really take them in. Getting to Tuolumne was a benchmark moment, because that meant the first segment, the first resupply, the first known place to get something real to eat and to enjoy the fruits of all the planning took place. And I ultimately was able to get my first bath in a beautiful stream and just wash my clothes on myself and also those that I brought with me. And the water was warm. There were people around. They were very friendly. And it was just a beautiful moment to do something practical that you never get to do at home, and that is to swim in a beautiful river, wash your clothes, and just relax and see it all. And there's so much rock in Yosemite that it forms basins and beautiful slides in the stream that, everywhere you look, it's stimulating, and it's so enjoyable to finally make it. First time I got to talk to Aaron on the phone in Tuolumne was a heart-moving, heart-throb kind of a thing for me because I love her so much. And she's given me this 4 weeks to be away, so it meant a lot. And we had a wonderful conversation once the connections were made better, with several calls, I think it was. But it put us back into the marriage part of our lives and the connection part of our lives. Technology is wonderful, and when this telephone call was the first of many, but of course I didn't know if we'd get through, so it was a little tiny surprise that's so pleasant and meaningful. The experience of walking past Garnet Lake was very special because it's a beautiful, beautiful lake in a beautiful setting, mountains all around, and I met some nice people that stopped me and talked to me. It just made the day very special, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous jewel of a lake, as it's named, Garnet. But it really lives up to its beauty reputation, and I know that I enjoyed the beauty part. Eric enjoyed the physical swimming and just using the waters of the lake for some enjoyment. He finds more joy that way. So I'm looking at that too and seeking other ways to have joy beyond the beauty, and that is to enjoy the physical that they provide.
Woohoo! Woo-wee! Whoa!
Oh, that's not so bad.
Well, you're breathing.
Yeah. Yeah, how about that? Anyhow, we had, once I found Red Meadows, it was a long walk from the trail. A lot of thoughts went through my mind. One being that I've always wanted to see Red Meadows because it was in the book Wild, and it was a key place for the lead actor in the film, and it was not different than what I thought. It would really fit my thought patterns as to what it would look like, and people were very nice. The food was so good. The milkshake, exquisite, and we rented a cabin, and 2 glorious nights in the comfort of a bed. It was fantastic. It made good sense to me to have a 0 day. It fit beautifully, and we did so many things. I mean, we just sat around, talked to other hikers, and we went to the hot tub, and we'll call it a spa, and spent an hour at the spa, nursing our little injuries and hurts and aches, and it was wonderful just to sit and talk and not have to walk. And we also had 2 guests in our cabin that needed help, 2 ladies. An aunt and her niece who had a very injured hip from her pack. So we took them in and had build up a good conversation with them. We think we encouraged them, they encouraged us. And that was a highlight of helping. And we got to know them, had a wonderful time talking with them. They took us out to breakfast the next day. We had a great rest in Red's Meadow. Coming out of Red's Meadow with a 0 day of hiking, I felt great. I felt rejuvenated and just restored in so many ways, having eaten some good meals, had some good conversations. Coming out and walking through the burned out pines, I realized how long it takes for forests to recover from fire. And I know it's been many years since that fire occurred coming out of Red's Meadow. And it's really barren now, but we soon reached good forest and of course enjoyed the shade and the beauty of the trees. There's a lot of neat, interesting trees that we've never seen before, don't know what they are, but we notice that they're different than anything we have out east, so we enjoyed looking at them, taking pictures. The hiking felt rejuvenated too. And this all goes to encourage me that I can make it. Oh, I'm tired. This was a long day. It was supposed to be even max 11 miles, and it's probably now 14, 15. So we're getting up in mileage, but we needed to in order to get a campsite. So we came around the mountain and look what we found. We're talking about Kirsten and her joining me for a week on the Appalachian Trail, and total delight for a dad to have one of his children choose to come and join him because they can and they want to. And we had a great time. It was a difficult hiking section of the Appalachian Trail, but she did so well, and she was such good company. And for a dad, as I say, that's one of the most meaningful moments in your adult life, is your children have chosen to spend time with you. You want them and you choose to spend with them, but it's even more special if they come and visit with you. And we had good talks. She's a strong hiker, and it's great for a dad to see his children launching out in their own lives and coming back and telling him about it. So there is no better, more satisfying experience for a dad. Well, let me talk about Shira. I am more than pleased that she not only came with us and engaged in our plan and participated in it as part of her own vacation with she and John, but that they also walked up with us a very stiff climb of stairs in the first day that we started the hike. They really weren't. I didn't know if they were going to go with us or not, but they did, and they seemed to really enjoy coming with us. It was a hard, steep climb, and they did well. And we had lunch with them and said a sad farewell after that, and then they went back down to start their vacation. Shira is one of three of my children, and of course she's my oldest, and I have the most memories of her. And she, by doing this, has continued to add to the connections that
I feel I have a real special relationship with each of my kids in different ways, and she is my firstborn. So there are a lot of memories that I have, and now I have a new one. And it is a great one because this is a big challenge to me to hike this John Muir Trail. And she went with me. And Kirsten has helped me as well in taking us into her apartment in Las Vegas. And John, and of course Ryan and Elizabeth, we just spent a weekend with in Pennsylvania, and they took us on a wild and woolly river rafting. So these all are great memories, and I am, if I have nothing else, I have that as my joy in life. And I have Erin, of course, as a great joy. There are many people, in addition to my kids and my wife now, that give me joy, and of course Eric is now one of them. He is very special. Actually, I didn't feel that hiking through the smoke was not too bad for me. It seems to be very temporary, and breezes take it out of the valleys. We see clear views sometime during the day wherever we go. I'm a little worried about it. It seems to be getting a little more intense as we move south. So we have the sense of walking into it. So that's a concern, you know. But thus far, not a problem.
The smoke has been like this hilarious force that's just kind of like pulled the wool over everyone. Like, no one really knows what it's gonna do. People are kind of in it to like persevere together and figure out which route's gonna work best for them based on what they can do and what kind of time they have.
Steve and Jackie are a very special couple that we met and have passed each other many times. A sweet couple, very open to talk about their lives and have this very sweet parental way about them that you can talk with them about anything, and they're very engaging. Whenever we go by them, they always call out. So we have thoroughly enjoyed them. We're hoping to see them at Muir Trail Ranch as well. They're amazing because they're older. I don't know how old, but they're maybe even as old as I am. But they keep moving on the trail, and they're there. They're ahead of us. So they're great. We look forward to a lot more camaraderie with them, and you can't help but like them. The situation of my backpack strapping going kind of awry. It's very complex. It's an older pack, and it's starting to let go in certain ways and become uncomfortable and create little skin wounds in my back. So I became more and more concerned about it, and Steve took an interest in helping me to fix it. I asked him to help me fix it, and I so appreciated his willingness to just try. And he seemed to really pick up on it. I just smelled the fact that he might have an engineering in his blood, and he might be able to help. And he seemed to really be able to pick up on it.
Richard came in, oh, my back is just killing me. I don't think I can make it, which I've heard him say a couple times, but he keeps making it further. And he had picked up on the fact that I have some mechanical skills and awareness, and was kind of looking for me, which kind of surprised me, but made me feel really good because here I had a value and a skill that he had picked up on, although I hadn't done anything really about that. So we started playing with the pack and figured out how to adjust the Velcro and do some things to it, and apparently it's better.
Doing wash here at Muir Trail Ranch is just a great example of how refreshing they can make it by using old facilities. And they have washing machine, electric driven, and also the I don't know what you call them, but you have the rollers that squeeze out the wet clothes, and so you put the clothes through a process that we're not really used to in this day and age, and it's a sort of a relearning of what used to be. Washing clothes in our mind will never be the same again. Using hoses and these old machines, we got it done, and we hung the clothes out then on the clothesline in the sun, and you get the best result when you dry clothes in the sun. So it was a special little sideshow. The hot spring experience, they have several hot springs or facilities. Two are right here in the camp or the ranch, but we went over across the river and to a more natural hot spring, and just sat and languished in the little pool and talked. It was in the sun. It was in the meadow. And a very nice setting. I feel I got a good rest. So that was what we stopped here for. And the meals and the sleep, the beds, nice facilities. They did a great job. And, I'm really optimistic that will shore me up. And it's exciting to think that we have the second half right in front of us. It is both refreshing and rare that you get a chance to see all of this in a concentrated period of time. So, a little concerned about the smoke from some nearby fires, but thus far we're finding that the valleys don't fill up all the way to the ground with the smoke, and we can inhabit a part of the valley that really isn't much affected by the smoke. So we're seeing good hints of some optimism that the fires may not be a problem. So yeah, there's always things that you got to be a little concerned about, but that's part of the adventure.
Everyone has their story. I think that's what,
Yeah.
it's like people have this life off the trail of which they really think defines them. It's so easy to say, I'm a professor and I'm an avid cyclist and I love going to Whole Foods when I'm in the front country or something, right? But when you're out here, it's like, yeah, I'm a hiker just like everyone else out here. Like, this is my take on this section of trail, or how much did Forester Pass suck, you know? And so this, like, those experiences really unite people, and that becomes this communal identity.
Especially the smoke being a complete enigma. It's given everybody something to talk about.
Well, community on this trail, the John Muir Trail, I think means connecting with other hikers at a level where you're not just saying have a great day and all that, but it's a little bit of a bonding in a common effort to enjoy the trail and to learn something about other people as well as yourself in that context of how you connect, how you relate, how you learn to appreciate other people who are doing something that you're doing, and you have a common bond and a sense of exertion, just able to endure and at the same time have fun. So it's a mix for me of enrichment on the trail, which is really needed because you're so tired some of the times. And human connection is an enriching thing to happen on the trail, because these are people who are strangers, and yet with Steve and Jackie, it has gone a little deeper. It's been really fun, and it's so neat to meet each other on the trail and say, "Hi, Steve. Hi, Jackie." And there's something good about that, because you're alone a lot on the trail.
I really love what he said about the enrichment that it gives to meet somebody else on the trail, and the value of community that we have. I think that we lose that a lot in our busyness of our jobs. And I really love the fact that this is a self-selected group that has come to the trail, and yet when we get here, there's just so many interesting connections that turn out to be true, and that when you get here, that the social stratification has been stripped away. Mm-hmm. So you are you first, not hospital administrator first, and
what do you do for a living?
So, and in fact, that's less important than what are you doing here, how did you like it, what do you know about the trail coming up or behind. So I really like that it's an equalizer, but it's a self-selected kind of thing too, and I feel really, really grateful to have met all the really beautiful people that we have along the way, and to feel connected to them in a way that maybe then we can solve. If I'm connected to you, maybe then we can solve the problems of our atmosphere, and dumping junk into our atmosphere. And
I say it's not about the experience, about the people that actually make your experience. And this has been some of the most authentic, open, friendly people that I've met doing a certain any experience. And I think part of it is it's self-selected. You're everyone's out here pretty much likes the outdoors, is willing to help people, because you're aware of just how vulnerable you are to Mother Nature and everything that's out here. And it could have been one of us that were evacuated. And so it's only human, I think, and looking at the humans around you to know that the best you can do is help everyone around you.
One of the things that I value about this is a sense of caring about each other, and people do care about each other, and obviously that most of the people walking the trail care about the trail, because there's not junk around it. it's very rare. It's that sense of caring about the space, the people. To me, that's the community part of things.
Um, saying a final, what you think may be a final goodbye to Steve and Jackie is, we haven't known each other that long. How could it be that strong? But it is. It's because of the intensity and the realization under the surface that we really like each other and we enjoy each other and that we care. And so saying goodbye is never a happy thought, but just the thought of coming together over a meal, it was like easy and very special. Very special. So, thank you for offering that friendship.
It's goodbye in some ways, but we're carrying with us things that are more valuable. So,
bye again. Like losing. It feels in seeing them leave more real. I don't know. It's just a short period that we've known them, and yet you feel like you've known them half your life. So it does hurt to see them go, and I'm hoping a lot to see them again, because that is a finishing touch to this whole experience of meeting people and just total joy. Mount Whitney will be, the ultimate opportunity to confront difficulty. It's high, it's cold, it's difficult to reach. But boy, that'll be the last day. And I don't think there'll be anything to stop us at that point. So I'm very optimistic about it. There are always ailments and things like that beset you a little bit, but I think if you press on, your body responds well.
care about each other. That's the bottom line.